I'll call this meeting of the Champaign-Urbana Cable and Telecommunications Commission to order at 3:34. Jake, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Walker?
Here.
Commissioner Wadsworth?
Present.
Chair Cinder?
Here.
Commissioner Rosales?
Here.
Commissioner Panumpabi? Commissioner Gleason?
Here.
Commissioner Foster? And Commissioner Folk. You do have a quorum.
Thank you. Are there any modifications to the agenda?
Approve.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The agenda is approved. Is there any correspondence, Jake?
Yes, I have included in your packet materials from Comcast that Janet Ahern at CGTV forwarded to me to pass along to the Commission. By the way, Janet said she emailed me a couple of days ago. It's unlikely she's going to make it today. They have a recording session scheduled. I also have included a letter from Richard Webb of Urbana concerning various cable issues that he wanted to comment on to the Cable Committee, as he calls it. And I forwarded a copy of this to Commissioner Cinder the same week we received it, but I've included a copy in your packets.
Yes. I did write back to Mr. Webb after I visited Comcast and presented them with the letter, and they expressed quite significant interest in resolving his issues. And so I wrote back to Mr. Webb outlining that and offering to assist in any way I could, and I have not heard back from him. Okay, are there any staff reports?
I have two items for you. The first is something that is not exactly a staff report, but either Sanford or I wanted to let you know that the cucabletv.com domain is paid through 2021. And Sanford has let Jeff Hamilton at Champaign know that we would not be renewing it after 2021, and that he asked Jeff to redirect that URL to the Commission's webpage, which I believe has been done. We asked.
I remember we discussed that some time ago.
So we wanted to make sure we pass that along to the Commission. The only other thing in my own report is that Urbana Public Television will be having its annual membership meeting, open house and holiday party a week from Saturday. That's Saturday, December 10th, from 12 until 1 o'clock here in the City Council chambers. There will be light refreshment. We'll get to know each other. You get to meet the people that make UPTV, and some light refreshment and I don't know if there'll be entertainment or not, but there will be refreshment. There's always entertainment. So, and I'd certainly like to extend a particular welcome to all the commissioners as well as to anyone watching.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is the point for audience participation, but I see no one in the audience. Yes?
Oh, I didn't know if Chris had a station reporter.
Oh.
Chris is here.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I guess all to report for PCTV is our new playback system is installed and up and running. We were down for about half a year while we were trying to figure out what to get and to get everything installed. And we're also soon going to be, in between semesters at Parkland, we're going to be wiring our studio for HD cameras. So we'll be at least producing stuff in the studio in HD as well. And then, you know, obviously someday the ultimate goal, who knows when that may be, but would be to get an HD channel up on Comcast or some of the other cable stations that we're on. But we'll see what happens when that time comes.
So you're not high def on ITV3 yet?
No.
So it's only Champaign that's high def on ITV3.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not, our new playback system is able to do HD, but we've still been in the standard def because our studio is still wired for SD. Our field production stuff is we shoot with HD cameras. But once we get that kind of set up, then we're going to try to focus on getting HD channels.
Thank you.
And Chair Cinder, I should also
Yes.
probably formally introduce Andrew Gleason as the newest commissioner. So
Can you
Andrew, why
hi?
don't you say hi?
Hello, my name is Andrew Gleason, and I am now the UI7 coordinator for the University of Illinois.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And now is the time for audience participation, and seeing no audience, we'll move on to our next item, which is to draft the annual report. I sent along an early draft of a partial report, which was lacking in the technical and regulatory section, which Peter Folk had been intending to write. He ran into some personal issues which have prevented completion of that and his attendance here today. And so I'm afraid we're not going to be able to finish that here today. As I recall from the good old days, when Rick Atterbury was our chair, we did not have full participation of the commission in the production of the annual report. Rather, the chair prepared it and submitted it on behalf of the commission. Is that the recollection of other members that were around at that time? Yeah. And so I think that is what I will do with Peter's assistance at this point. And thank Andrew Wadsworth for his help and for in preparation of the Comcast section. And hopefully, Peter indicated to me by phone today that he hoped to have his section back on his agenda very soon. And it's my hope that we will get out the report before the first of the year. Are there any comments or concerns regarding the annual report? Any items which people think should be included that have not been mentioned or addressed so far?
The staff reports are included in that. Not the staff reports, the channel.
The channel reports
channel
will
reports.
be included,
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. With that, we'll move on to commissioners' comments.
I guess I have a comment regarding part of the price write-up that was in the
Yes.
draft report and part of Mr. Webb's letter. And I realize there's not a whole lot we can do about this, but Comcast obviously knows that the price increases, some of them are up to 20% for some of these services are pretty high, but of what should also be of concern are all these add-on charges that are just inscrutable. And I realize we can't do anything about them, but I sympathize with Mr. Webb. He's got a broadcast TV fee. When I signed up, that wasn't on here. The regional sports fee wasn't on here. The taxes, nobody even tries to understand those. But the digital adapters, $3.99, and now going up
To $5.99.
60%.
Yeah.
Those weren't on here. Those were advertised as free. The HD technology fee, that wasn't on here when I signed up. That amounts to a huge portion of the bill. So when Comcast sends this letter and says, our price went up on these channels, it's not, they're really getting customers many other ways. And I don't know, Mr. Webb mentions that he was forced to pay a DVR fee. Do you have no choice when you sign up for Comcast to get the DVR box?
No, you do not have to get the DVR box, it's my understanding.
And that was always my understanding
and,
too, until I saw his letter, and
The representative I spoke to at Comcast was, I would say, nearly as disturbed as I was by this letter.
good.
And interested in getting the situation resolved. I was wanting Mr. Webb to contact me, and if he's happening to be watching, I would again encourage him to contact me. I would like to know if he has gotten the situation resolved and if it's to his satisfaction, and specifically what items he was able to address.
Well, does anyone here know, I mean, when did regional sports fee start? $3 a month. These things just sneak onto the bill, and every now and then you look at your bill and you,
That may be dependent somewhat on what level of service you are purchasing. If you're at the lowest tier, I don't think there are any regional sports channels.
Right. I think, yeah, it depends on the package you have, but I also believe as time has passed and and the cable companies have negotiated deals with Big Ten Network, Fox Sports Midwest, ESPN, as they've negotiated deals with those channels to be able to carry them, I think that's where that fee came in.
well, see, they're kind of
Double
they're talking out of both sides of their mouth if they say, oh, our prices have gone up to subscribe to these channels, so our entire package price will go up, and then they start adding on. I mean, I get this regional sports fee for $3. I don't have any packages because every time I look for an Illini game, it's on some obscure channel that I don't get. And the broadcast TV fee, when did that start? $5 a month.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know why such fees aren't included in the basic rate that you pay for a particular tier of service.
Well, I can see why, because they can say, oh, you can get this service for $99, and people go,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And then they get their bill and all the add-ons. It should be included. I mean, a lot of this stuff should just be their overhead, especially when they're trying to justify this by what the providers are charging them. But
I'm
I
going
think
to
Comcast would do well to get some publicity out about this and let their customers know these fees are coming and explain what they are.
I'm going to contact Art specifically about the fees issue and see if I can get an explanation as to why these aren't just rolled into the packages.
And I think my recollection from all the different types of services and packages that I've signed up for over the years, this has varied. And like Richard said in his letter here, it seems like some months it's on there and some it isn't. And so the inconsistency is enough to drive people crazy. One of the things, though, I'd like to add, and this would be directly, I suppose, to Art as well, is down in Florida, Comcast does not charge for the small little boxes. So here we are not only at, what, $3.99, which has gone up from the $1.99 that it had a few years back, and now it's going to $5.99, and yet I get them free down in Florida. So what's with the inconsistencies with the same corporation out of state?
Karen, do you have one of the small boxes as opposed to the larger?
I have the large box with the mandatory HD technology fee and any room DVR
Right.
fee, and then I have 2 digital adapters. I mean, can I buy
The little-
those myself?
those are the little boxes?
Those little annoying boxes.
The little boxes are upgraded from what they used to be, though.
Yes.
Because now you can, depending on which one you get, but now you can use it to, you can tell it links with your DVR. You can tell it to record in different rooms and actually get all your HD channels as well.
So I'm still paying $3.99 for the old.
Right. So another thing that that just crossed my mind is the fees are probably regional, so it'd be hard for them to possibly roll that in because it's different in each region.
Well, like, we didn't used to have the PEG access fee on here either. I mean, it's only 35 cents, but it just more,
Stuff
people
to
looking at their
understand.
bill and just saying, you know, what is all this stuff that, can you buy a digital adapter? Can you buy your own equipment and give these back to Comcast like you can with the modems?
They won't service, if there's anything wrong, they won't service.
You can with the modem,
Right.
because I think a lot of us have done that, and I do that. But I don't know when, with these boxes, without really knowing the technology. And even then, you'll probably have a difficulty getting it connected and working properly on a long-term basis.
I'm fairly certain you can't buy your own cable box because the cable decoding that actually happens, these little cards that they have inside of them, are things that you actually have to request directly from your cable provider if you get like your own third-party DVR system, and until they install them, you can't actually view whatever
Yeah.
the signal is that you're pulling from the system.
Yeah.
So
There-
third-party all-in-one solutions don't exist through cable providers, at least, for the decoding the video stream itself.
Yeah. There are televisions which come with what are called cable card slots. I
Yeah, do they
haven't.
still make those? They were big for a while, and I
Yeah,
didn't know if
I
they-
don't know. I haven't actually seen one on a television in a while.
Sounded like a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah.
Well, it is still your understanding after speaking to the representative, though, that you do not have to have an HD box at all. You can still have a
Yes.
box that would get the low spectrum of channels that aren't in high def. You would therefore not be charged a high def fee and paying rent for that box. You'd pay rent on another box.
Right.
Well, when I first got this box, there was no HD technology.
Interesting,
fee.
yeah.
And, you know, it was, the guy installed, ooh, HD now you've got. And great. And a year or two later, all of a sudden, I say, yeah, great, I'm paying, $120 a year for it.
And one of the things, though, that doing my writing led me to is the two different markets. And has that always been the case where Urbana was paired with
Bonneville.
versus Champaign with Savoy? And I found, why are they
I-
separating these markets out? But there's different fee structures, and if you read it, they actually differ considerably when it comes to reinstatement or what other fees was it? The installation
Yeah.
fees. So,
Yeah, that came as a surprise to me. I was totally unaware of it.
and if you want to see those, I have them with me.
Yeah, I'd appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Well, I will talk to Art and see if he can address some of these things for us and at least give us an explanation as to what's going on and whether there might be an opportunity to rewrap.
And I'll be happy to help assist you in any way I can
Great.
on that, okay?
I'd appreciate it. Any other comments?
There's always AT&T.
And Dish and Direct.
And I go back and forth as well.
And I have an antenna on my roof. I don't know that my neighbors particularly appreciate it, but none has complained. In fact, I think at least one is envious. Okay. Our next regularly scheduled meeting will be January 19 at 3:30 here in the Urbana City Council chambers. And I would just like to let anyone who might be watching now or by recording later on know that public attendance is welcome, and as is participation. So we'd be happy to see you here in council chambers on the 19th and hear any comments you might have. And with that, we will stand adjourned.